Good morning, children. We yesterday started with Unit 7, Glimpses of India, and we did its part 1. Today we shall be doing the second part of it. The second part, which is about a place which is considered as a heavenly place situated in the lap of nature, a place blessed with beauties and bounties of nature, a place which is known for its flora and fauna. And the name of that place is Kurg. You may have heard of that place. Some of you even may have visited the place. Today we shall study about all its history, what all things is the place famous for. When I introduced you with this unit, I just told you that India is famous for its diversity. So when it comes to diversity, the varied regions, the varied places of our country are covered throughout this unit. Okay, so we are doing Kurg today. Yesterday, when I finished with part 1, due to some technical issues, the question answers had been left, they had been interrupted. We'll continue with the answers of the previous unit also and do it today. Okay, so let's first begin with the chapter and then we shall do the answers of both of them. Okay. Page number 90. Kurg is coffee country, famous for its rainforests and spices. Midway between Mysore and the coastal town of Mangalore sits a piece of heaven that must have drifted from the kingdom of God. Must have drifted from the kingdom of God because the author personally feels that the kingdom of God is a blessed place, beautiful place. As I told you, the beauties and bounties of nature, a heavenly place. So probably he says that Kurg is so beautiful as if it has been drifted from God's kingdom. God's kingdom, which is considered to be the most beautiful place. That's what he says here, as if it has been drifted from that heavenly area. This land of rolling hills is inhabited by, rolling hills refers to a series of low hills. Hills with up and down motion. That is what he says, a series of low hills. So this land of rolling hills is inhabited by a proud race of martial men. Martial men mean the men who are physically strong. Okay? So proud race of martial men, beautiful women and wild creatures. Kurg or Kodagu means ancient times it was known as Kodagu and now we call it as Kurg. The smallest district of Karnataka is home to evergreen rainforests, spices and coffee plantations. Evergreen rainforests cover 30% of this district. 30% of this area has evergreen forests in it. During the monsoons, it pours enough to keep many visitors away. Pours enough means talking about the rains, okay? So it pours so much, it rains so much that usually the visitors don't come during the monsoon season here. The season of joy commences from September and continues till March. Season of joy here means when many tourists come and there is a lot of abundance and prosperity for the people, localites over there when the tourists visit the place. And it starts from this September and continues till March. The weather is perfect with some showers thrown in for good measure. Good measure means a pleasant rainfall where everybody welcomes that pleasant rain or the drizzle. The air breathes of invigorating coffee. Invigorating means energizing. Coffee, you know very well, when you have to study overnight, you would ask your mama to give you a cup of coffee because it gives you that instant energy. That's what he says. The the air breathes. The air breathes means as soon as you enter this area, that aroma of coffee can be very vividly be smelled. The air breathes of invigorating coffee. Coffee estates and colonial bungalows stand tucked under tree canopies in prime corners. Canopies refers to the shelter which the tree provides. Okay, so suppose many of you may have passed through this Mala Road area. The trees, how they have made a canopy for the passers-by. And that's what he tries to convey us, that large coffee estates and the big colonial bungalows stand tucked, means they are still there the same way they had been built in earlier times, and they are under the tree canopies, the trees that have made the canopies or the shelter for those bungalows. The fiercely independent people of Kurg are possibly of Greek or the Arabic descent. Descent means the origin. Basically, they belong to the Greeks and the Arab descendants. As one story goes, a part of Alexander's army moved south along the coast and settled here when return became impractical. See, every place has its history. When we talked about Goa, we discussed about the Portuguese people coming, ruling over, and then how they influence the culture over there. When some people stay at a particular place for years and years together, obviously they would be putting their impact over the people of that area. Here similarly, it is considered that Alexander's army moved towards the south. Many people came together, and some of them, it was not practical that they could return. So they stayed here itself. So when they stayed here, obviously they would influence the region, the religion, the culture of that area. So their return became impractical. These people married amongst the locals, and their culture is apparent in the martial traditions. Apparent means clearly be seen. It can clearly be seen that how they made an influence. So in the martial traditions, marriage, religious rites refers to the rituals during the wedding, which are distinct from the Hindu mainstream. Means basically Hindu marriages, Hindu traditions don't have those things. But people of Kurg follow such cultures and traditions which anyone could make out that probably they have been influenced by the people of the Alexander's army who came and settled there. The theory of Arab origin draws support from the long black coat with an embroidered waist belt worn by the localites of that place, Kodavus. And that dress which the author speaks about is known as kufiya. It resembles the kufiya worn by the Arabs and the Kurds. So just because of that dress, you could make out that probably that dress origin also had been from those Arab descendants only. Kurgi homes have a tradition of hospitality. Hospitality means providing a very caring and a generous treatment to your guests. So these people believe in that hospitality, and they are more than willing to recount numerous tales of valor. Tales are the stories, valor is the bravery part. So willing to recount numerous tales of valor related to their sons and fathers. So the children over there, the people over there, they know very well that their region is of the martial men, the brave men, the strong men. So they would be narrating the stories of their bravery to all the people. The Kurg regiment is one of the most decorated one in the Indian army. The most decorated one refers to that it has received maximum number of medals. So many army men belong to this region. So one of the most decorated one in the Indian army and the first chief of the Indian army, General Cariappa, was from Kurg only. So this is a factual information which you need to remember. Even now, Kodabus are the only people in India permitted to carry firearms without a license. Firearms refers to the guns. So these are the only people who without the license can keep the guns with them. Otherwise, you know very well, you need a license even to have it. The river Kaveri obtains its water from the hills and forests of Kurg. Mahasiv, a large freshwater fish, abound in these waters. Abound means they are found in a large number. Kingfishers dive for their catch. Catch here refers to the prey. While squirrels and langurs drop partially eaten fruit for the mischief or of enjoying the splash and the ripple effect in the clear water. Ripple effect, you know, that how when you throw something in the water, the waves as they create the smaller waves, they are the rippling effect. Elephants enjoy being bathed and scrubbed in the river by their Mahawats. Mahawats are the elephant keepers. The most laid back individuals become converts to the life of high energy adventure with river rafting, canoeing, rappelling, rock climbing and mountain biking. So basically the author tries to tell that it is not only the place where you could relax, it is a place where there are many adventurous deeds even which you can go and involve yourself. So during the vacation time you wish to sit and relax, enjoy the beauty of the nature, Kurg is the right place. But if you wish to go for rappelling, canoeing, biking, then again Kurg is an appropriate place for you. Okay. So the most laid back individual, laid back means relaxed, not in a hurry, just in a comfort zone. So they convert to the high life of high energy adventure, river rafting, canoeing, rappelling, rock climbing, as well as mountain biking. Numerous walking trails in this region are a favorite with the trekkers. Trails refers to the paths which humans make when they pass through a particular area repeatedly. Favorite with trekkers, you know, mountain trekking and all. So how the people have made paths for themselves in that area. Birds, bees and butterflies are there to give you company. Macaws, Malabar squirrels, langurs and slender loris keep a watchful eye from the tree canopy. How these creatures, how these monkeys, how they sit around and they keep a watch on you. I do, however, prefer to step aside for wild elephants, giving them a passage to walk. So, because it is their original place. The place where you have gone to enjoy, basically it is their home. So that's what he says, that I wish to move aside when I see the elephants passing by. The climb to the Brahmagiri hills brings you into a panoramic view of the entire misty landscape of Coorg. Panoramic is something which is very beautiful to look at. Misty landscape of Coorg. Misty landscape here refers to the because of the moisture, because of the abundance of rain, how the place looks so beautiful. A walk across the rope bridge leads to the 64-acre island of Nisargdham, running into Buddhist monks from India's largest Tibetan settlement at nearby is Baila Kupe. That again is a bonus for you when you visit there. The monks in red, ochre and yellow robes. Ochre is that light orange color. Okay, so red, then light orangish color. Yellow robes. Robes are the clothes which usually the Tibetan monks wear. Are amongst the many surprises that wait to be discovered by the visitors who are searching for the heart and soul of India. And they could find that heart and soul of India in Coorg. Heart and soul of India means how that geopolitical unity, how that geography of India invites all the religions and their beautiful aspects into one single place. That's what he says, that if you wish to see how is the heart and soul of India, what India is exactly about, you may visit Coorg because you'll find many beautiful things over there. Okay, so with this, we finish with our second part. I'm sharing with you the question answers of the part 1 plus the part 2. Okay, I had just started and we had done the first 2 answers yesterday. What is the baker called? The baker is called a padder in Goa. When would the baker come every day? Why did the children run to meet him? The baker would come twice a day, once early in the morning and the second time when he returned after selling his stuff. The children would run to meet him as they wanted to have the bread bangles which he brought. Okay, now this match the following to be done in the book itself. Marriage gifts, sweet bread called bowl, party feast, bread, daughter's engagement, sandwiches, Christmas, cakes and bolinas. Do this in the book itself, children. The next, what did the bakers wear? In the Portuguese days, the bakers were usually dressed up in a peculiar dress called kabai. It was a single piece long frock reaching down to the knees. Okay. What did the bakers wear when the author was young? During his childhood days, the author saw the bakers wearing a shirt and trousers which were shorter than full length ones and longer than the half pants. Then, who invites the comment, he's dressed like a padder and why? Any person who's wearing a half pant which reaches just below the knees invites this comment. This is because the baker, known as the padder, used to dress like that in those times. Where were the monthly accounts of the baker recorded? Monthly accounts of the baker were recorded on some small wall in a house with a pencil. What does jackfruit-like appearance mean? Jackfruit-like appearance means having a plump physique. Okay. Now, this again, the next one to be done in the book itself. A few statements are given, children. Have a look because you have to tell that which one is correct and which one is incorrect. The first one, padder was an important person in the village. Correct. Padders still exist in Goan villages. Correct. The padders went away with the Portuguese. No, wrong. Padders continued to wear a single piece long frock. No, wrong. Bread and cakes were an integral part of Goan life. Yes. Traditional bread making is still a profitable business. Yes. Padders and their families starve in the present times. No, incorrect. Is bread an important part of Goan life? How do you know this? Yes, bread is an important part of Goan life. Marriage gifts have no meaning if they don't include the sweet bread known as the bowl. Parties and feasts lose its charm without a bread. Bread is also needed by a mother for preparing sandwiches during her daughter's engagement. Cakes and bolinas are a must for Christmas and other festivals. Thus, it is necessary to have breads for every occasion, because of which the presence of a baker's furnace in the village is very important. Okay. Now, the question number 3. This again to be done in the book. Children, I told you what all have to be done in the book. Do them there itself. Pick the right answer. Here, they have given you some options just to analyze that what is the tone of the author when he says this statement. The thud and the jingle of the baker's bamboo still be heard in some places. He is getting nostalgic. Maybe the father is not alive, but the son still carries on the family profession. He is hopeful. I still recall the typical fragrance of those loaves. Nostalgic. The tiger never brushed his teeth. Hot tea could wash and clean up everything. So here he is getting funny. Cakes and bolinas are a must for Christmas as well as other festivals. It's a factual information. Baker and his family never starved. They always looked happy and prosperous. Again, factual information, matter of fact. Now we get to the second part, Coorg. Where is Coorg? Coorg or Kodagu is the smallest district of Karnataka. It is situated midway between Mysore and the coastal town of Mangalore. This is a land of rolling hills. What is the story about Kodagu people's descent? The fiercely independent people of Coorg are descendants of Greeks or Arabs. A section of Alexander's army moved south along the coast and settled here only when they were unable to return to their country. These people married among the locals. Their traditions, marriage, and religious rites merged with the Hindus' mainstream with the passage of time. This is the story about the descent of the Kodagu people. Okay. Now, what are some of the things you now know about after reading the chapter? So, there are separate parts. Individually, we shall discuss each. The first one, the people of Coorg. They are fiercely independent people and they have descended from the Greeks or the Arabs. The people here are a proud race of martial men and beautiful women. Coorgi homes are famous for their hospitality. The Coorg regiment is the most decorated regiment in the Indian army. Okay, second part, the main crop of Coorg. The air of Coorg breeds of coffee, which is the main crop here. Several coffee estates can be seen here. The sports it offers to the tourists. It mostly offers high energy adventure sports which include river rafting, canoeing, rappelling, rock climbing, trekking and mountain biking. Okay, now the fourth and the fifth part. The fourth part is about the animals and fifth is the distance from Bangalore. We'll discuss both together. Animals likely to be seen in the Coorg are macaques, Malabar squirrel, langurs, slender loris, wild elephants, etc. Now, Madikeri, the district headquarters, is around 250 to 260 kilometers from Bengaluru by road. The nearest airports are Mangaluru, which is 175 kilometers, and Bengaluru, which is around 260 kilometers. Okay, now the next one, the detailed question. How do Coorg's location, people and natural features add to the diversity of India? Coorg is beautifully located and described as a piece of heaven that must have drifted from the kingdom of God. It has rolling hillsides with a pollution-free river and forest teeming with wildlife. Here nature exists in its pristine glory, which adds to the diversity of India. Further, it has coffee and spice plantations quite different from the rest of India. The local people, the Kodavus, are a martial race. Just like all the other Indian families, they too are well known for their hospitality. The monks in red, ochre and yellow robes are amongst the many surprises that wait to be discovered by the visitors who come searching for the heart and soul of India right here in Coorg. All these features add to the Indian diversity. Okay, so with this we finish with the answers of the second part also. Okay, now in the next lecture, we shall be completing with our third part also. So you complete the work which we did till here. Goodbye, children.